In this video, we will see about XML schema. It is the concept for defining the rules about the contents of an XML document. We have one more method for defining the structure for an XML document. It is nothing but document type definition. Then, why we go for XML schema definition? Let we see in detail. We know very well. Document type definitions is written using extended Backus normal form. That is, we have to learn or we have to use the extended Backus normal form for this. And also, it does not support namespaces. It supports only a few numbers of data types. It cannot be further extensible. And also, it does not support the dynamism. That is, we cannot select the XML documents at the time of running. That is nothing but no dynamic support. Whereas XML schema supports namespace and also it supports multiple data types. So we can say it is a stronger data type. And also the XML schema definition is written using XML itself. There is no need to go for any other grammar. Unlike documented definitions, because documented definitions using the extended Backus Naur form. Okay, but in the case of XML schema definition, it is using the XML. And also it can be further extensible and it supports the dynamism, or we can say the time of running we can select the XML document. It is nothing but dynamic support. So the main purpose of the XML schema is to define the legal building blocks of an XML document. What are the legal building blocks of an XML document means? Elements and attributes. These are the major building blocks of an XML document. So with the help of XML schema, we can specify the order of the child elements. Second, we can specify the data type of the elements and attributes. And also we can give the default and fixed value for the elements and also attributes. So with the XML schema, we can do these things. These are the some built-in data types available in XML schema definitions. So here we have to note one thing. Each and every data type should start with the XML schema definition. That is nothing but XST prefix. So XST colon string means it is nothing but string data type. Okay. So in this format only we can use the building data type in the XML schema definitions. So the XSD refers XML schema definition. This is nothing but prefix of the building data types. So this is the namespace URI for the XML schema. So here we are using the default namespace for the XML schema definition is nothing but http://w3.org/2001/XML schema. This is the default namespace for the XML schema definition. So how can we declare the element in the XML schema definition means it has two elements, or we can say it has two fields. The first one is what about the name of the element. Second, you have to specify the type of the element. So here the element name is register number. We know very well what is the type of the register number. It is nothing but integer. Okay, here that this class represent, it has no closing tag. So here we are using two types of elements. One is simple types, another one is complex type. If it is a simple type hexamer schema definition means it contains only text. Okay, that is it contains only the string of character. If it is a complex type means it contains text, any other elements and also attributes. Okay, it contains any number of elements inside it. That is nothing but complex type. So this is the example for the simple type. Here we are defining the Morse element. So here the element name is Morse. And also here we have specified the range of the Morse is nothing but 0 from the 0 to 100. The range of the mark is 0 to 100. So here we are using the simple type element. Therefore XST double colon, or we can say colon, simple type. Simple type. This is the element name. So this is the starting tag means you have to close here only. Okay, the name of the element is Morse. Okay, here you have to specify the restriction for the element Morse. It is nothing but it is a type of integer, and you have specified the minimum value of the mark is nothing but 0. The maximum value of the mark is 100. After that, you are going to close the restriction tag, and then you are going to close the simple tag. In this way, we can define the simple data type in the XML schema definition. So next, how can we define the complex types? So in the complex type means it may contain any number of elements. Okay, that means inside the complex type we can have any numbers of elements or attributes. But in our previous cases, we contains only text. The element name is Morse. Okay, that part we have specified only the restriction. The minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 100. Other than that, no other element we have specified in the simple type. But in the case of complex type, we have specified four numbers of sub elements: register number, student name, department name, CGPA. These are the elements we have specified inside the complex type. Here the main element name is student. So under the students, we are going to have the 4 sub elements. The first one is register number. The second one is student name. Third one is department name, and fourth one is CGPA. So each and every element should have the type also. The type of the register number is nothing but integer. The type of the student name is nothing but string. We know very well. The type of the department name is nothing but string. The type of the CGPA is nothing but decimal. Each and every element does not have any closing tag. That's why we are using the slash here. Okay, after defining the element, you are going to close the sequence. Here the sequence is nothing but it is the order indicated. What it means? All the element must appear in the document, and also it should be appear in the order specified in the XML documents. The same order only it should be displayed in the XML document. So here we are discussing about the structure of the XML document, not the XML document. Here we have discussed about the structure of the XML document using XML schema definitions. So after that, you are going to close the complex type. So here we have discussed some of the order indicated. As I said earlier, what is the use of the sequence? The element must appear in the order specified. That means in the example, the first element should be register number. The second element should be student name. The third element should be department name. The fourth element should be CGPA. We cannot change the order of the element. Okay. So what about the order indicated all? All means the element must appear, but the order is not important. Choice means specifies that either one child elements or another can occur. That is, no, not necessary to appear all the elements. So occurrence indicator means there are two different kind of occurrence indicator here. One is maximum, max occurs. Second one, the mean occurs. Max occurs means specify the maximum number of times an elements can occur. Mean occurrence occurs means specifies the minimum number of times an elements can occur. Group indicator, there are two types of group indicator. The group means define the set of related elements, we know very well. Attribute group means we are going to define the set of related attributes, that's all. Group means elements. Attribute group means you are going to group the related attributes, okay, that's all. So now we are going to discuss about the XML schema definition examples. For that we should have the two different files. One is XML file, another one is XML schema definition file. We know very well with the help of XML schema definition we can write the rule for the contents of the XML document, or we can say we can give the structure of an XML document. Okay, so this is the ordinary XML document. So here the first line is nothing but XML prologue statement, we know very well. And this is nothing but books. Books is nothing but root elements. Inside the books, we are going to specify the XML namespace instances we have specified, and also schema location we have specified here. So after defining the books, we are going to have the books information. So inside the books, we are going to have the book information. The book ID is nothing but PK001. So inside the book, we are going to have the children, author, title, genre, price, publication date, and also reviews. Okay. So likewise, we are going to have the books information. Finally, you are going to close the books tag. So this is nothing but another file, books.xst. So XML schema definition. This is XSD means XML schema definitions. So in this, what about the root element here? XSD colon schema. This is the root element for the XML schema definition file. So if it is a root element means what about the last statement of the XML schema definition file? It is the closing tag of the XML schema definition colon schema. That is XST colon schema will be a last statement of your XML schema definition file. Okay. So in the XML schema definition, we are going to specify the XML schema namespace, and then you are going to specify the target namespace, and you are going to specify the XML namespace book. What about the root element of the XML document? We know very well. What about the root element? Books is the root element. So now you are going to define the structure for the root elements. So here your element name is books. So what about the type of the book? It is nothing but PKS. It's nothing but prefix of your books. Okay, and books form is the type of the books. Okay, that is nothing but user defined data type. Okay, so books is the type of books form. Okay, so here this books is going to have the n number of elements. That's why we are going to use the complex type here. So here the name is books form. Okay, so in this books form we are going to, if we are going to use the complex type means you should use the next tag is sequence. So in the sequence we are going to specify the name of the element. What about the name of the element here? Books. So inside the books you are going to have the element book. So for that you are going to define the structure. Is it clear for you? So what about the type of this book? It is nothing but book forms. What about the type of the books? It is nothing but books form. What about the type of the book? It is nothing but book form. Okay. What about the minimum occurrence of this book? It is nothing but 0. Okay. What about the maximum occurrence of the book? It is nothing but unbounded. What it means? Infinite. Okay. Unbounded means infinite. So here there is no closing tag for this element name book. That's why we are using the slash here. After that you are going to close the sequence and you are going to close the complex type. So after that you are going to have the another complex type. It is nothing but in the name of books form. Book form is the type of what? As a type of book. So inside the book, you are going to have the element, author, title, genre, price, publication date, review. Okay. So for that, you are going to specify the element name and also type of the elements. Okay. After defining the structure of the elements, you are going to close the sequence and you are going to have one more element here, the book ID in the XML document. In the XML document, you are having the one more attribute. This is nothing but ID. So further, you have to give the structure, that is existing colon attribute name is nothing but ID. So the type of the ID is string. Okay, it may be PK112 means it is the type of string. Okay, that's why we are using the structure of the ID is string. Okay, after that you are going to close the complex type and finally you are going to close the schema. That's all about the XML schema. Thank you.